Sukhā matteyyatā loke, atho petteyyatā Sukhā, Sukhā sāmaññatā loke, atho brahmaññatā Sukhā. Blessed in this world is cherishing one's mother. Cherishing one's father, too, is blessed in this world. Blessed is supporting the ascetics. Blessed, too, is supporting the noble ones. I would like to start by paying homage to the Lord Buddha, offering salutation to senior and junior monks, respectively. Greetings to all the lay supporters and distinguished guests who have joined with this online memorial dedication chanting today, especially the family of Associate Professor Sun Teresa Koo. This ceremony has been requested in Teresa's position as the dutiful daughter to her late father, Mr. Koo Nai-Chung, who passed on March 23, 2020. Dutiful daughter to her late mother, Mrs. Lin Hsiu-Ching, who passed on March 14, 2019, and a dutiful niece to her late aunt, Miss Lin Hsiu-Tuan, who passed on February 12, 2020. Today is March 23, 2021. I am Phra Nicholas Thanissaro of Dhammapada International Meditation Center, Azusa. And today I would like to share a short Dhamma talk on the topic of gratitude to parents, for the benefit of all those joining this memorial dedication in person or online. My Dhamma talk today is derived from the Dhammapada verse 332 and is commentary in a teaching given by the Buddha at Savatthi with reference to children who abandon their father in his old age. Once there lived in Savatthi an old Brahmin who was extremely rich. He had 4 sons, and when each of the sons got married, he gave each a share of his wealth. Then he gave away half of his remaining property to them. Later his wife died. His sons came to him and looked after him very well, and they were very loving and affectionate to him. During the course of time, somehow, they influenced him to give them the other half of the remaining property. Thus he was left penniless. First, he went to stay with his eldest son. After a few days, the daughter-in-law said to him, "Did you give any extra wealth to your eldest son? Don't you know the way to the house of your other sons?" Hearing this, the old Brahmin got very embarrassed and left the eldest son's house for the house of the second son. The same remarks were made by the wife of his second son, and the old man went to the house of his third son, and finally to the house of the fourth and youngest in the same way. Eventually the old man was left destitute, and taking a walking stick and bowl, he went to the Buddha for protection and advice. At the monastery, the Brahmin told the Buddha how his sons had mistreated him. The Buddha taught him some verses and advised him to recite them wherever there was a large gathering of people. The gist of the verses was as follows: "My 4 ungrateful sons are like ogres. They call me Father, Father. But their words come out only of their mouths and not from their hearts. They are deceitful and scheming. Taking the advice of their wives, they have driven me out of their houses. So I have been reduced to begging. These sons are of less service to me than this walking stick of mine." When the appointed day came for the Brahmins of Savatthi to hold their meeting, and knowing that his sons would be there, the old Brahmin also attended the meeting. Now, at that time, the prevailing law dictated that whoever ill-treats his mother or father and does not support or look after them shall be punished. Many people in the crowd, on hearing the verses recited by the old Brahmin, went wild with rage at the ungrateful sons and accused them of neglecting their father. Then the sons realized their mistakes and knelt down at the feet of their father and asked for pardon. They also promised that from that day forth they would look after him properly and would respect, love, and honor him. They also warned their wives to look after their father well. Each of the sons gave him proper food and clothing. After a while, the Brahmin became healthier. So he went to the Buddha and humbly requested him to accept 2 trays of food out of the 4 he was receiving each day from his sons. One day the eldest son invited the Buddha to his home for alms food. After the meal, the Buddha gave a discourse on the benefits to be gained by looking after one's parents. The Buddha related to them the story of an elephant called Dhammapada, who looked after his parents, as is related in the Matteyyatā Nakaraja Jataka, Jataka number 455, which related a previous lifetime as the elephant Dhammapada, which, when captured, became uncontrollable because of its strong filial piety, pining for its parents who were left behind in the forest. Even the Buddha himself started his career of pursuing perfection by expressing filial piety for his parents, with the Bodhisattva carrying his mother on his own shoulders as he swam while set adrift from the shipwreck in an ocean with no land in sight. Repaying our debt of gratitude to our parents for all they have given us since before conception, from conception to birth, upbringing from birth to adulthood, both in physical and spiritual ways, is something that is a mainstay of Buddhist practice. Most of the things which come to mind for serving and assisting our parents are things that we can do when they are still alive, whether it be looking after them in their old age, perpetuating the good work for society our parents have already started, carrying on the good name of the family, or using the family wealth in a responsible way. But the Elaboration Sutta also tells us that the dutiful son or daughter should take care of the parent who has already passed away by performing funeral rites and continuing to dedicate the positivity of good deeds done on the parent's behalf regularly after their death. Sometimes memorial merit-making is done at the 50-day or 100-day marks after the death of a parent in the Thai community or on full moon days. In the Thai and Sri Lankan communities, it is traditional to dedicate merit on the anniversary of the parent's death each year. The way merit is dedicated is usually by offering a meal on behalf of the deceased or organizing a ceremony for chanting matteyyatā or the Dhammapada Sutta, as we do here at DIMC Azusa every full moon day, and offering picked-up robes and supplies to the monastic community, thereafter pouring water to dedicate merit for the departed. It is also a time for the sons and daughters of the surviving generation to bring to mind all the good deeds a late parent has done throughout their life. In comparison between the virtues of children and their parents, the Buddha categorized children into 3 types. The first is the sort of child whose virtue exceeds that of his parents, and who brings more prosperity to the family than during the time of his parents, known as the Abhijataputta. The second is the sort of child whose virtue is equal to that of their late parents, and who brings the same degree of prosperity to the family as was brought during the lifetime of their parents, known as the Anujataputta. The third sort of child, whose virtue is less than that of their late parents, and who brings less prosperity to the family than during the life of their parent, is known as the Avajataputta. If you realize that your virtues are less than your parents, then you should strive hard to recapture the good deeds exemplified by your late parents during their life before the family falls from prosperity. If your virtues are equal to or greater than the virtues of your parents, then you should keep going with your good deeds and rather than getting complacent, you should trust that your good deeds will be smiled upon by your late parent, earning extra merit for them even beyond the grave, while ensuring the prosperity of your family for a long, long time to come. This thought brings me back to the Buddhist proverb from the Dhammapada with which I started this discourse, that Sukhā matteyyatā loke, atho petteyyatā Sukhā, Sukhā sāmaññatā loke, atho brahmaññatā Sukhā. Blessed in this world is cherishing one's mother. Cherishing one's father, too, is blessed in this world. Blessed is supporting the ascetics. Blessed, too, is supporting the noble ones. The message from the teaching is that it is a blessing to cherish and care for one's parents. But since those parents or relatives of ours can no longer increase their own merit after they have passed, it is up to us as sons and daughters to fulfill the duties of filial piety outlined in the Sigalovada Sutta and dedicate merit for those loved ones regularly to the best of our ability after their passing. Imina gata punyena, through the power of the merits arising from the Dhamma talk today, may these merits bring Mr. Nai-Chung, Mrs. Lin Hsiu-Ching, and Ms. Lin Hsiu-Tuan happiness and prosperity in their new rebirth, according to the wishes of the supporters on this occasion. May these merits bring all supporters long life, strong health, strength, happiness, and quick-wittedness. Whatever good things you wish for in life, may those things come to you easily and in every way. So instead of mourning Mr. Nai-Chung, Mrs. Lin Hsiu-Ching, and Ms. Lin Hsiu-Tuan, we should bear in mind that they had cultivated a not insignificant number of good deeds throughout their lifetimes. So it is to be expected that with all the good deeds the deceased cultivated during their lifetimes, together with the merit of this funeral ceremonies and memorial chanting organized in their names, especially the merit of giving today's Dhamma talk on gratitude to parents, that as Mr. Nai-Chung, Mrs. Lin Hsiu-Ching, and Ms. Lin Hsiu-Tuan look down on us from their new existence, they will be led to an ever brighter and more refined status in their afterlife existence. Now, before we hear the matteyyatā chanting, I would like to invite everyone to call to mind the merits arising as we reflect in silence for a few moments on the merit arising as we continue in our duties of filial piety, even beyond the grave for our loved ones. Sappa Buddhanupavena, Sappa Dhammanupavena, Sappa Saṅghānupavena Sattha Soti Bhavantu Te.